there's many stories of many people who came from really bad backgrounds and they made it out, and now they're here, you know, whatnot. You know, people like, for example, it's crazy. I don't know about this person's background, but like, I don't know, it just randomly came into my head. There's a basketball player. His name's LeBron James.
Yep.
Yeah. And I don't know what background he came from. I don't know if he came from a rough background, I'll be honest with you. But even if he came from, like, let's say a middle class background, imagine, he would never have imagined, I'll say this, I'll put it on the table, he would have never imagined that there's going to be a day, not I'm going to be an NBA player, fine, that's crazy maybe for him.
Yeah.
But there's going to be a day where I'm going to be out there, I'm going to have my own shoe, and Nike's going to give me a deal. Do you know how much his deal was worth?
No.
$1 billion.
Wow.
A lifetime
That's
deal.
money.
Lifetime sponsorship.
Yeah.
$1 billion.
That's crazy.
That's insane money.
Insane.
You would never imagine that. And now that's in terms of financial things. Even in terms of spiritual things, you know, there's people I've seen, you know, there's someone, we read these stories all over the place. I was reading a student of knowledge, he studies, and he's currently in Saudi Arabia in a city called Qasim. So there's different places you can go and study. Qasim is known to be like a rough area in the sense where it's not like Riyadh and Jeddah, and it's not like built up the way they are. It's a little bit more, you know, a little bit more traditional in that sense, where it's still got some years on it before it becomes like more modern like those cities. So he said, like, I remember I didn't have money for the bus, or I used to only have money for bus and food, and I used to eat, and I used to sit down, I used to read basic books in Arabic or what. I would have never imagined I'd be here, like studying on a proper serious level and be able to understand everything and whatnot. And that's how it is with everything. And I think the human mind is capable of things that are amazing. It just limits itself. It limits itself, and that's partly shaitan as well.
Of
honestly,
course. Shaitan wants you to just sit there.
He's
and
an
do
opportunist.
nothing.
He's an opportunist.
Absolutely.
You know? And shaitan wants you to literally be behind and backwards and whatnot, and you just got to fight it.
And this is why mindset's so important. And this is why Muslim Mastery, we focus so much on the mindset. And you know, for this person that you mentioned, I want to give you 4 H's. So a H for what they should do. Right. So the first thing I would say is for them to be great, and I believe they can be great, is for them to have hunger. Okay. Hunger is very, very important. And I think this is one of the problems. It's like a lot of the people who are super wealthy, they complain their kids don't have hunger. Why? Because they have everything. Right. So having that level of hunger is very, very important. If you have that hunger, that will drive you to get up and do something.
Most definitely.
So it's very important that you get your mind hungry and you get it set. And that's why, again, passions are good, because if you're hungry for that passion, like geography, you can then go after it. So the first H is hunger. Make sure you got that hunger. Second thing is that after the hunger, what you need to think about is that you take that hunger and then you take hard work. Right? Because you can't just have hunger alone. You have to have hard work to go and get that food. Does that make sense? Yeah. So you got to be hungry. You got to go out there and you got to do hard work. And then the third thing is that when it comes down to it, ultimately you have to have high standards. Because a lot of the people today, they have low standards. They have low standards for themselves. They have low standards of other people. They have low standards for everything. And what you need to do is you need to have high standards. Don't think, oh yeah, you know what, inshallah I'll get a 40k job. You should be saying, you know what, inshallah I'll be employing people and I'll be paying them double 40k. Just raise your standards a little bit. Have high standards. So hunger, hard work, high standards. And then the last thing is holistic growth. Holistic growth. What I mean by that is that you have to grow yourself every single day. And you have to grow different parts of yourself. So we said mindset's so important. So you need to constantly be growing your mindset. But then knowledge is so important. You need to be growing your knowledge. But then if you got mindset and knowledge and no spirituality, no connection with Allah, you have to be growing that. So every part of you has to grow. Because for you to achieve your vision and the things you want to do, the person you are right now cannot achieve it. You have to become someone different. And there has to be a transformation from who you are to who you want to be. And it's a bit like, you know, when they were launching NASA to get to the moon, they said that when we first planned it, there were parts and things we needed which were not yet invented. But we had the belief that by the time we get to that stage, the technology will be there for us to do it.
Wow.
Right? And so I'm saying the same thing with you. And anyone who's watching that, if you've got this vision of doing something, I'm saying you can do it. But you need to realize that it's not going to be this guy right now. It's going to be another guy. So what is the path for you to become from that guy to this guy?